So, I'm not that happy with the outcome of my candles that I just made. I feel like art should not be this difficult, right? Like, it should not be this. It should be fun. And granted, I have a fun time making candles because I think the best part for me is just watching the wax melt. The wax take a different form, right? From a solid to a liquid. So that to me is very relaxing, seeing the wax in the pot on the stove melting, right? And I think also the next best part is just smelling the aroma of the oils when I add it to my wax. I also like that part too. But I think the goal, the goal here is to do it correctly, right? And I'm looking at these candles. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I'm looking at these freaking candles. And it's like I can't seem to get it right. This is my second attempt, okay? So the first attempt, I bombed it because I just didn't have the correct coloring to make the candles colored, right? Because the wax comes in white. So I'm a colorful person. I love color, and I wanted to add color to my candles. The first time I made it was like several weeks ago. You guys can go back and watch that video that I made. And I ended up mistakenly using the paint, right, that I used to paint. Because I don't know where I read it. I read it somewhere where you can use the non-toxic freaking acrylic paint to color the candles, and that's what I ended up using, and it did not work. I was like, no duh, it did not work. So I went back to the art store over the past weekend, and I was so happy to see that they actually had the coloring that's made specifically for homemade candles. I was like, yes, because I have been calling Michael's. And if you guys are watching and you work at Michael's on Columbus Avenue, like, I've been calling and calling and calling and calling. And when I called, like, I guess they're so busy, right? So they couldn't really tell me. But I think what it is, some of their associates just don't know, right? Some things they do know. Some things they just don't know about what they carry in the store. So even when I was there initially, when I was purchasing all these art supplies for the canvas and painting and homemade candles, and I asked the sales associate, like, I need coloring for my candles. She pointed me in the direction of the freaking cake coloring. I'm like, no, I need coloring that's made for candles. Homemade candles, okay? How difficult is that? Homemade candles, not candles on top of a cake. But it's like people just don't listen. Or they're so busy. Or maybe they're tired, they're drained, so they're not listening correctly. Whatever. So it's been a journey to get this coloring. And when I called before I went out to Michael's, I spoke to a sales associate. I let her know my frustration. I said, because I want to speak to the manager. First time I called this weekend, they put me on hold. Then they hung up. And I was just like, yo, y'all hung up on me. Like, why? You hung up on me. I'm trying to get my question answered. Why you hang up? So I called back and I said, okay, can I speak to a manager? Because apparently the sales associates obviously are busy. They maybe not have time to answer. So let me speak to a manager. And I told the manager when she picked up the phone, I was just like, listen, I have been working diligently to find this coloring for my homemade candles. I've been in the store. I asked people. They pointed me in the wrong direction. I've called. They put me on hold. They hung up on me. Can you please just tell me what kind of coloring do I need And she was like, let me look it up. And she gave me the product number, which is really important. The product number. Because it's like so many different types of color, right? And it matters the medium that you're using the color in, right? This is wax, okay? Hot wax, right? So it takes a certain kind of coloring to color hot wax. You can't just use any kind of coloring, right? And of course, watercolor doesn't work because it doesn't mix, right? Water and oil, it just doesn't mix. So she told me the product number and I was really happy, and she told me the specific name of the product. And I went, but she said, I don't know if they're going to have it in the store, but here's the name. And I went there this weekend. I was just so happened to be in the neighborhood. I didn't even call. It just like popped up because I was already close by anyway. Now I went in and I went to the aisle where they said that it would be when I went there before, and I couldn't find it. And voila, it was there. It was right next to the candle oils, right? So I was just like, okay, great. The oil, the fragrances that you use to bring about the scent. I was happy. I was like, great. It's here. I found it. It's here. Like, I found it. Finally, you guys have the coloring, right? So this is what I got. It comes in a pack. This is one of them. This is another. And this is another, because I actually used 3. I used 2 in one. One candle. I actually made 2 candles. I used 2 in one candle and then 1 in the other. I use like this lilac color and this peach color in one. And then I used the seafoam color in another. And I'm about to show y'all what I came out with, right? I was just like, yo, I'm thinking, finally, I got it, finally. But look, you guys, just look. And it's probably close to near dry. Look what I end up with. Does this look like it has color in it? Now, granted, when I was putting the color in, I was like, okay, it looks like it's seafoamish color, like greenish color, light greenish color. But as you can see, when the wax dried, it's white. What the fuck, yo? You guys can see I have the wick here. I have the wooden wick, and I love the wooden wicks, by the way. I'm going to cut the wick down to size here. And it's really easy to cut too. Like so. And I decided to get, I guess this will be like a wine glass. It's a huge ass wine glass. I got these, by the way, from this new discount store that just opened up on 116th Street. Right before you get to the Malcolm Shabazz African Market on 116th. So I was really happy to see that they had something unique that I can get. Solid base, you know. And I decided to make my candle out of this. But it's not the color. I'm just like, why can I not get the correct color? Why? What is it going to take for me to be able to color my freaking candles? It should not be this difficult, okay? So you homemade candle makers, help your girl out, because I can't seem, maybe I might just have to order it, like, because apparently Michaels, even though they sell all kinds of homemade crafts, arts, and things of that sort, they apparently do not sell coloring for candles that is sufficient enough to bring about a vibrant color that you can see after the wax dries. So this is one. I made 2. I'm gonna light it. And I know, they say, just appreciate what did turn out right. The fact that I have a scented candle, but it's not the right color. It's just not the right color. And this is my second attempt, okay? My freaking second attempt. Now this candle I use this kind of oil. I use some tea tree oil that I use for my hair. But I use like half of this bottle. Maybe over half. I started with half and then I added more, so I ended up using maybe 3/4 of this bottle. Tea tree oil. And then I mixed it with this cucumber melon fragrance that I used before in my first batch of candles that I made. So I think the smell is going to be just perfect because I made sure I added more oil this time. So I think it's going to come out just perfect. So that's the first one I made. I'll show you guys the second one. Maybe I should stick to painting. I don't know. But I don't want to give up. I feel like, granted that I didn't yield the result that I expected for my first 2 batches of candles, like, I'm going to give it another try because I got to keep going until I get it right. It's just a little bit frustrating because it's just like, why? Why is it not coming out correctly? Why? So this is the second one. This was supposed to be lilac, which is like a purplish color. And then I added the peach color to it. But I got to a point where I just got frustrated and I just said, you know what, fuck it. And I just started like dabbing the peach and the candle wax after I had already poured it inside the this candle holder here. And I didn't even bother mixing it. I just let it be. So you guys can see the specks of the color just sitting there in the candle wax. Just, you know, I'm just like, forget it. Just fuck it. But this is also my favorite part too. Like cutting the wooden wick. That's also my favorite part. So I don't like that when I put my nose to it before I light it, that I can't smell anything, because you're supposed to be able to smell candles when you, like, how can you, like, if I wanted to, like, put these in the store and sell them, which I'm not, I have no interest in selling anything that I make, because I make it for myself, but I'm like, you're supposed to be able to smell it before it's lit. I don't like that. You can't, I only smell it when I burn it. And in that candle, I put macadamia, which I love this scent, by the way. And this is lemongrass, geranium, bergamot mix. So I put these 2 fragrances in there. And I love those oils. By the way, so this is like, these are only like $2.99 at the beauty supply store. Whereas these, I don't remember how much I paid for this. Maybe like $8 a bottle, I think, from Michael's, but that's the scent I put in here. So, I mean, I feel alright. I do like the shape. Shape is different. But I have to figure out what's up with the color. It's just, this white gotta go. Just gotta go, but I wanted to show you guys that. I'll catch you guys later. Feel free to drop your comments below. And if you make candles, like, help your girl out. Because I'm halfway there, but halfway is not enough, okay? So, help your girl out. I'll catch you guys later.